and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you're subscribed, and if you're not new here, thank you for everything. Welcome to my Vlogmas special. As you guys know, this is the time of year when I am my most happy, and so I actually think it's the perfect time to do this video because this year's been rough and I think it's important that I talk about it when I am feeling like my best self and feeling like happy. Let me say that. So basically we're going to look back into the year of 2023. I do this video every year so that I can compare them. However, this year has been exceptionally rough, exceptionally tough. Yeah, it's been a hard one. So I actually wrote a poem about how this year has been and treated me and how much I've changed. And I will read the poem to you guys and then we will talk about it afterwards. If you don't know, I am a published poet, so yeah, if you go a few videos back, you'll see that I do have a book published. If you guys want to buy it, I'll link it down below in any case. This poem actually came to me around August this year, and I literally just woke up with it in my head and I said I need to write this down, because it's just, it felt like everything had just reached a point where I was able to put all the emotion into words. And this is usually how my poems come to me. It's usually just a thing of like, they just come to me when they're ready to come to me type of thing. And I just make sure to write them down. I don't always say all of them. I don't speak on all of them. But this one I felt like needed to be heard. So let's jump into it. I'm going to read the poem to you guys. I've got my notebook here, so bear with me if I'm looking down. All right, so the poem is titled 2023 Didn't Love Me. Okay, I started this year wanting a new me, but what came my way I didn't foresee. Funeral after funeral, putting on a smile when my heart felt feral. Happy moments squeezed between, people being so mean. My heart breaking as I lose people I trusted. But I walked away with my courage mustered. Telling myself it had to be done to feel free. And I do, but why does it still hurt me? Weight lifted off my shoulders, it's true. Meeting new people and getting a new crew. Happiness, it's there in my man's hands, in my kids' smiles, but life has its demands. After all these tears, I decided to change, my feelings being rearranged. It wasn't all bad, I laughed so hard too. I felt loved, I smiled, I embraced new. I closed the gates around my heart for some, but for others, I stuck to them like gum. I started giving more of my heart to less of them, and in that I found a gem. I found me, the me I wanted to be. No more nightmares, no more tears. I run after my fears. I still smile and love and believe, but now I'm more careful of the energy I allow myself to receive. So yeah, 2023 didn't love me, and it took a lot of pain and tears to see, but for the first time I do, I love me. So yeah, I actually got goosebumps reading that, funny enough, even though it's my own poem, so crazy. But it's so true, and I think it's gonna be hard not to cry. Okay, I didn't expect that either. But this year definitely showed me flames. I think I started off the year with this whole mindset and ambition of I'm going to do all these things to heal my soul. I'm going to read and meditate. And you guys know I made a video on this, and I was going to focus on my plants and my kids and my husband and my friends. And I thought everything was going well. And then things just started to fall apart. Like, it literally felt like my life was like made out of glass, and it was just like slowly but surely shattering, and like pieces were falling out. I felt like people abandoned me, even if it wasn't their intention to do so. It still felt like there were people that I had literally given so much of myself to, in growing up in my life, knowing them in general, and it felt like it literally took 2 seconds for people to act like I just didn't exist anymore, and it was painful. It has happened multiple times this year, with multiple people that I trusted, that I loved. Some still in my life, some not. But all of that heartbreak, I think, definitely made me move away from the path that I thought I was going to live this year. And yeah, so I've lost a lot. I've cried a lot. I think I cried more this year than I have in any other year. I went to multiple funerals, lost multiple people, not just in my life, but like altogether. A lot of people left this earth this year that meant a lot to me. And even the things that came from those situations, those funerals, they were not positive. So it's been really tough. On top of that, like, I've had a lot of pressure on myself. I've lost friends, I've lost family. It feels like a lot of heartbreak. I have set a lot of boundaries. I decided that if this is what's going to continue happening to me, like, I'm done giving so much of myself all the time. So now it's like, when I'm happy, I'm happy. When I'm sad, I'm sad. Like, I'm not anymore pretending to be something I'm not for people, to keep people happy. If I'm not okay with something, I'm going to say it. I thought that there was a point this year where my mental health was better, and then it's just like every time I felt like I was reaching a point where I was okay, something else happened and I just like dropped again. However, I have managed to pick myself up every single time. Another crazy thing that happened this year is that I decided that I will no longer be on birth control. I think there's a lot of family members that don't even know this, but I feel like the birth control is just ruining my body. It's ruining my hormones. I'm struggling mentally with it. Luckily, I've got a super supportive husband that would literally do anything for me. And we have, I mean, it's not that we're like abstaining, not to get too in-depth about that, but we are using other forms of protection. We are not trying to have a kid, so please don't misunderstand. We are being very safe, very careful. However, I am no longer on any birth control, and it was one of the best decisions I think I ever made for myself and my health this year. So I will definitely be continuing like this until further notice. I do feel a dramatic change since leaving everything. However, it does come with a lot of like sacrifice and work, to be careful and to be cautious of what you're doing. So I mean, we're all grown-ups here. So that was a big thing. And so far so good. It's been about 6 months now, so everything's been really good, and no babies, so that's good for me. So that was a big thing. I think that helped me a lot mentally as well. Orion got hospitalized in the beginning of the year. That was one of the things that I think that was one of the first things that was like my tipping point. He got bronchiolitis and was hospitalized for like 5 days, and that was really difficult. It's always really difficult to see your kids in that situation. It was very hard, but he is so healthy now. You know, the normal kid things, but he is thriving. He is so smart. He is doing so well. Miles also did his first readiness test. He's going to grade 1 next year, so big school, first big school. And he aced it. Like, let me tell you, that child is so freaking smart. I'm so proud of him. So yeah, we have to start preparing for grade 1. We are gonna have a grade 1 child. It's so insane. So that's something that is happening also, that we're excited for, and we're really proud of the two of them. They're nobody's perfect. They're kids. They're gonna test our boundaries, push our buttons, but they have definitely been our pillars of strength this year, and I'm very grateful for my kids. Everything I do is for them. So yeah, I'm very proud of the two of them. They are just growing up to be magical. Absolutely magical. So yeah, what else has happened this year? I think this year was all about healing, even though I thought it wasn't. Even though that's how I thought of it in the beginning, and then like everything went wrong, and I kind of was like, what did I do to deserve this? But I realize now, in the place where I am at now mentally, that it was still all for my healing. Some chairs definitely needed to be removed from my table in order for me to heal from things that have happened and people that have hurt me. There was no way to heal with these people still being present, and so I'm glad that I do see the bigger picture now, let me put it that way. What else can I say? Like, I actually saw a TikTok like the other day, and this girl was saying, she was saying that she found a way to be more attractive, and she was like, I'm not talking about like physical attraction. She was like, I'm talking about being magnetic. And I watched this TikTok, and she goes on to explain how she adapted her mindset to believe that everything was happening in her favor. So even if she got a parking ticket and it was like really expensive, she believed it was in her favor, because if she had parked somewhere else, something else could have happened, or the moment she took to look at that parking ticket could have prevented her from getting in an accident, or whatever it was. And she said that she started to feel like everything that happened around her and happened to her was happening in her favor. And the moment she started doing that, people gravitated towards her. She found herself in conversations with strangers that she probably would have never spoken to before. She was enlightened and opened. And so after seeing that TikTok, that was probably like 2 weeks ago, I decided to change my mindset to, after this year, I felt like I really needed to just be more positive, because even though I knew everything that was happening to have a positive outcome, I still felt like it was such a struggle to go through. Like, was that positive outcome even worth it? Was it for me? Was it not for me? Like, what if, like, why did it have to be so hard all the time, every time? And so that was my mindset about 2 weeks ago. And then after seeing that TikTok, I was literally like completely changed. I started believing that like everything happened to me for a reason, and for a reason that was within my favor. And the moment I started to feel that way, I must say, like, that girl was not wrong. I think last week I have spoken to more strangers, I want to say, than I have this entire year. And this was something that I always admired about like myself and our country, was that people were always so open to like chatting and talking and being nice to people they didn't even know. And it hadn't happened to me in such a long time, and I only realized it when when it actually did start happening again. And I mean, I had conversations with people at the cow train, I had conversations with people walking into the mall, I had conversations like at events, I spoke to so many people this last week that I've never spoken to before, and it was enlightening and it was fantastic, and it made me feel so light and so positive. And it's not that anything they said was particularly important, it's just the friendliness and the social ability of it, and like just uniting with people that and connecting with people's energies that you've never met before. It was amazing, and so I hope to continue my year like this and keep this feeling consistent moving forward. I've definitely changed a lot, and I think a lot of people are noticing a change in me. I'm picking my battles because I really feel like I waste a lot of energy on things that aren't meant for me, and on people, situations that aren't meant for me. I'm getting upset over things that aren't really such a big deal, and I'm putting my priorities aside for situations that aren't gonna benefit me. So I've stopped doing all of that, and I've started putting more of my energy into the things that are going to carry me into the future. So for example, like me and Marco, in this year I've had quite a few like fights, nothing serious, but like there was always like this external factor causing us to like butt heads. And within the last 3 to 4 months, 2 to 3 months, we have put so much energy into like healing our relationship. It has been magical. Like when I tell you, I feel like that girl that fell in love the year we met, like I feel like that again, and I'm sure he feels the same too. But we've reached a point now in our relationship where we're just so connected. It feels like our souls are like so connected. He knows what I'm feeling, I know what he's feeling. We're putting more effort into communicating and helping each other and just being one, and it is so beautiful. Like, let me tell you guys, like, you know, sometimes as married women we're always like, no, these men are too much. But let me tell you, when you reach that level of literally feeling like your souls are connected, nothing compares. It's a whole different type of high. Like, it is so beautiful. So our goal is just to continue maintaining that. We've realized a lot between the two of us, and the kids are finally at an age where we can go from like taking a little bit of focus off of them now and just putting it towards working on us. And because I mean, a relationship is always work, you know, you're gonna work on it forever. So we're finally getting to discover who we are now with each other, if that makes sense, and it's beautiful. So I'm so in love. And it's so crazy to say we'll be together 10 years next year, and it's like, it's just so insane to say, but like he just makes me so happy, and like he makes everything just so worth it. And I'm gonna start crying again. I'm not doing that. Like, he has been there with me through everything. So yeah, I'm just so grateful for that man. But that's the most of what's has been going on this year. I know I didn't go too much in detail, but I'm really not holding on to those things anymore, so I don't really want to go into detail of them, and I don't want those people to come and like fight with me over me just discussing it on the internet. So like, I want to leave it in the past where it is, and I want to move forward, and I want to be positive, and I just want to enjoy the things that are meant for me, and all the growth that I've experienced in this year. I want to take that with me and allow it to make my energy magnetic, if I can put it that way. I feel happy, I do. Even though some of these things do still hurt, I am happy. I am very happy. I know that I have a lot coming, a lot of blessings coming my way, because I'm working very hard towards them. And I've putting a lot of energy into like creating the life I want, regardless of all the pain, all the tears. Like, at the end of the day, it was just stepping stones to where I'm going. And that's the way I want to look at it. And that's how I feel right now in this moment. Whether tomorrow I am crying again, it doesn't matter, because right now in this moment, I am happy. And I want to continue to create the moments where I feel this way. So yeah, that's basically it. Oh my god, I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I hope you guys can relate to this and it didn't seem too vague. But looking back on 2023, I'm very proud of myself. I love myself. I love my family. I can't wait to see what's to come in the future. So yeah, pretty deep, but that's just what's been going on. I have to be honest with you guys. So yeah, I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. So let me know your thoughts down below. I hope that I send this positive energy your way as well. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Stay tuned for the Vlogmas special, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.